Hello, Donna here, Transcending Trauma, Speaking to Solutions. So, I wanted to, or I have started on a 60-day journey to define the narcissist. And this is, like overcoming patterns and insecurities and doubts that have been put on us by the narcissistic or abusive person in our life. So, here's cheers to overcoming. And they do say it takes 21 days to create a habit or break a habit, but it actually takes 60 days for it to become a new unconscious pattern. So, which means, like really being aware for 60 days of your own behaviors. And once you really, start, it's just their habits that we've been conditioned with. It's not who we are. And once we start like really paying attention to these patterns and working on consciously changing them, then they become unconscious, new unconscious habits. So, it takes some effort. It takes a lot of energy to sort of have self-awareness and to not just go on autopilot. It takes a lot of brain energy and nervous system energy. But just so you know, after 60 days of using that energy and conscious awareness, the new habit becomes automated and becomes part of the unconscious, and you don't have to make as much effort. I mean, we might slip back in and just bringing in our awareness and, changing the pattern again. They're like grooves in the brain, habitual. It's just where we just easily slide and go along with things because it's, brain looks for easy, not healthy. It looks for habitual patterns. It loves patterns. And, if easy is, trauma responses that you're, been inundated with, that's what it's going to be. Like toxic relationships even can look easy because they're familiar and they're just automated. Like the brain just goes, this is familiar. I know how to navigate this train. Been there, done that, So it's just a little rewiring of the brain. That's all. That's what we're doing. Cheers to rewiring the brain. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about, I don't know how to like sum it up really easily, but about the smear campaign and about how they really cause a rift in your ability to connect and trust others. If you notice right away, a lot of it is woe is me, and they'll tell a lot of stories about, kind of, pleading for your sympathy. It's one thing when someone really goes through something, or maybe even they have, but they work through it. But when someone uses it to gain narcissistic plot supply or to manipulate you and to gain sympathy and sort of to make excuses for their behavior, it's not so great, So I've noticed because I'm sort of on that spectrum, and when a topic interests me, in which recovery from this has very much interested me, I really dig in. A little of the ADHD, neurodivergent brain, a topic of interest. I just dive deep into it. But I have done a lot of research on it, and I've done a lot of observations of behavior of people that I see have these traits, and I watch them. It's funny because they come off as so cocky and arrogant and self-assured, yet they do not have the ability to say what they really mean. They'll use the guise of others. So, I'll see, or talking behind the back. So I'll see them talk negatively behind someone's back, and the second they're around that person, they're falling all over, love bombing them, being sweet and kind. It's sort of like, I think right there speaks to they are not as strong as they try to come off. Like if you have such a problem with this person, what is wrong with like rational discussion with this person about whatever issue you're having, instead of just pretending, and being fake and two-faced. But that's that mask they wear. But also I've noticed another thing they definitely do is where they will tell you that other people said something they want you to feel heard about, and they won't say they feel it or they perceived it. They'll tell you someone else did. I have noticed that over and over again. They'll say, oh, so and so, or everyone thinks this about you. Everyone. That's one of the ones I heard often. Everyone feels this way about you. You know, it's like it feels so helpless and horrible. But defy the narcissist. Don't fall for that. That's they have so many different manipulative agendas behind that. One, it's to isolate you so you don't trust anyone else. You know, two, it creates the hierarchy for them because, well, they're stirring drama up between everyone. They're disconnecting everyone from each other, and then they're at the center of that. So, you know, they're the one manipulating everyone. You know, they're getting that supply, that grandiosity met. So they're making it so you and you don't trust each other, and you and you don't trust each other, and you and you don't trust each other. But they're the one there, like, being loving in front of everyone, but talking crap behind everyone's back. So everyone sees them as the loving person, you know, when they're not, you know, it's manipulation. But yeah, it's, so let's defy the narcissist. Let's first of all bring in our awareness. If someone talks negatively about someone, and then when they see them, they don't discuss any issues with them, they just start going into that love bombing that you see where they just act sweet and, you know, all of that. No, they're doing that to you too. Like, when someone shows you what they're capable of, believe them, you know? So when they're talking crap behind people's backs, they are letting you know how they are. They are talking crap behind your back. That's what's happening, you know? And so instead of feeling sorry for them about the things they're saying, you know, maybe encourage them. Oh, well, why don't you have that conversation with them? You know, like, I think you should have that conversation with them. Oh, no, no, they won't listen to me, this and that. Oh, well, sorry to hear that. I think that you should try, though, because I can't really say what they feel or do, but you could have that conversation with them. You know, that some of that broken record, again, too, technique really goes a long way, like letting them know that you're staying in your power and they're not shifting your view. You know, they are no longer able to gaslight and manipulate you. Just keep repeating yourself. You know, they'll try to drag you through, you know, it's that crazy making and that word salad. They'll try to drag you to a whole bunch of other things, and they might start even escalating, you know, and getting angry. And then you can say, oh, well, now I see you're sort of losing control of yourself. I'm going to have to walk away because I don't feel safe right now, you know? So, and then walk away, get away from someone that's starting to escalate, you know? So cheers to defying the narcissist. When you're around someone that either tells you other people think, and don't go to that person, because that's another way they make you look crazy, because then they'll deny it too. So you'll go to that person and say, oh, so I heard you thought this, and they'll be like taken by surprise because they never said it. And then they're put on the defensive, you know, and then they'll go to that person will be like, oh, wow, I never said that. Or that's how they interpreted that. That's not what I said. You know, so just don't fall for it. It's just manipulation. So one, when people talk negatively about other people and then they act sweet in person, or, you know, that means that they're being two-faced and they're actually being weak and they aren't saying what they feel internally. Like, my gosh, if they just admitted some of their feelings, which are probably horrific, you know, maybe they could work through some of them, you know, like, hey, go straight to that person instead of smearing them. I'm feeling these things internally. And that person could let them know, like, yeah, you're picking up on something from me. I felt this or that. Like, conflict resolution births deeper intimacy. There's actually nothing wrong with it. You know, it's when people get heightened or start character assassination, start name calling during conflicts. Those are what people are fearful of, and that is not a healthy dynamic. The second someone starts calling you a name during an argument, there's no conversation to be had. That's gone into verbal abuse, and they are showing you that they just want to hurt you and they don't want to hear you. So you walk away from stuff like that. All right. So, anyways, just to summarize, people that are talking behind other people's backs are talking behind your back. That's the smear campaign. So recognize it when you see it. When someone tries to pull you into things like that, just say, hey, I'm not really comfortable talking about them without them here. That's another good one. If you want to talk with them, or if you need my support sitting there while you talk with them, I'm willing to do that. But yeah, they're not here, so I'm really not comfortable. And or maybe that's an issue you should take up with them. I really can't help with that, and just repeat whatever you want to say. Just whatever your stance is, just repeat it and repeat it, because they're going to try to break down your walls, and you stay strong in your statement. And then, yeah, if they let you know that other people are saying things about you, just don't believe it. It's most likely not true. And if it is, you would perceive or see it in your own time. So, you know, if they tell you everyone hates you, that's called like catastrophe or like black and white thinking. It's one of those like extreme adjectives, like I'm sure not everyone feels anything about you, or you don't never do this, or always, the always, ever, nevers. That's just extreme language, and it's just not true. It's just to manipulate. So just like recognizing these patterns. And if they're telling you someone's talking about you, this is a good line. Oh, well, what other people say about me is none of my business. Thank you, though. Yeah. Oh, what other people say about me is none of my business. Thanks. Oh, really? Well, thank you for letting me know that, but what other people say about me is none of my business. They're just trying to, and it's also a way to make you feel bad about yourself. They tell you negative things to make you feel bad, because why? Because again, they need that hierarchy. They need that grandiosity. Don't buy into it. Don't take the bait. All right, we'll just end with that. Don't take the bait. Peace out.